Shri Bhagavanuvāca Urdhvamulam adha shakham Ashvatham prahuravyayam Chandamsi yasya parnani Yastam veda savedavit. The English. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upwards and its branches down, and the leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas." Adhaschordhvam prasritastasya shakha Guna pravriddha vishaya pravalaha Adhascha mulanyanu Karmanubandhini manushya-loke. The branches of this tree extend downwards and upwards, nourished by the three modes of material nature, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. Na rupam asyeha tatopalabhyate nanto na chadir na cha sampratishtha ashvattamenam suviruddha moolam asanga shastrena dridena chitva tatha padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuyah tameva chadyam purusham prapadye yatah pravritti prasrita purani. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world because it's upside down. It's a perverted reflection. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. We can't understand where our karmas are, why we are in this state. But with determination, one must cut down the strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment, the sword of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, no one ever returns. We want to get out of this samsara chakra. We don't want to be here. And once we get out, we don't come back. And there, surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. So beautiful. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandvairva mitta sukha dukkha sanger gacchantya mudha padam avyayam tat. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person and attain to that eternal kingdom. So we need to become amudhaha. Natad bhasyate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That supreme abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or the moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jiva bhutva sanatanaha manaha shashtani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. We're parts, right? Direct parts of Him. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses. The mind is also considered one of the senses, which include the mind. So 5 gross senses plus the mind. Shariram yad avapnoti yad chapi utkramatishvaraha grihitvaitani samyati vayurgandhana ivashayat. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to the next, as the air carries aromas. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. Shrotram chakshuhu sparshanam cha rasanam grahanam eva cha adhishthaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate. The living entity thus takes another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. It thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. So we get a body according to our desires. The karma that we're doing now determines what kind of body we will get in the next life. Utkramantam stitam vapi bhunjanam vagunanvitam vimudhan nanupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. We need jnana chakshu to actually understand what's going on. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit this body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. It's hard to understand that we're part of this. We're in this body for a reason. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all of this. Yatanto yoginas chainam pasyantyatmanyavasthitam yatanto apyakritatmano nainam pasyantyachetasa. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly. But those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try. We can speculate, but real knowledge is something different than just what the mind thinks. Yadaditya gatam tejo jagadbhasyate akhilam yachandramsi yachagno tattejo vidhimamakam. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me. And the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire are also from me. Gamavishya cha bhutani dharayamyaham ojasa pushnami chaushadhi sarvah somo bhutva rasatmakaha. I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Rasatmakaha. Aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam dehamashritah pranapana samayuktah pachamyannam chaturvidham. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, the prana, the outgoing and incoming, apana, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuffs. So he gives us the power to enjoy food. Everything is arranged. He's given us everything we could possibly need. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarve rahameva vedyo vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. This is one of my favorite shlokas. And from me comes remembrance and knowledge and forgetfulness. When we want to forget, Krishna allows it. He says, okay, you want to forget me? No problem. He's so kind. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. What's the point of the Vedas? The goal? It's to understand Krishna. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas, Vedavit. Chaham. Dvaimau Purusho loke ksharascha eva cha kshara sarvani bhutani kutasto kshara uchyate. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, meaning we have flaws. We're not perfect. We're here for that reason. And in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible when you attain that spiritual perfection. Uttamaha purushastvanyah paramatmetyudaritah yo loka trayam avishya vibhatyavyaya ishvaraha. Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, Paramatma, the imperishable Lord Himself. He enters into our heart, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them, enters everything. Yasmat ksharam atitoham aksharadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vedecha pratitah Purushottam. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, this is Krishna speaking, I am celebrated both in this world and in the Vedas as that supreme person, Purushottam. Yo mam evam asammudho janati Purushottama Sasarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharataha. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. That's all we need. We just need full faith. Then we understand everything. Everything else is revealed to us. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. So the perfection of knowledge is to what? Sa sarva vid bhajati mam. Right? The whole point of knowing anything is to serve Krishna. Beautiful. So simple. Iti guhya tamam shastram idam uktam maya nagaha etad buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharataha. So this is the most secret, guhyatamam. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures. O sinless one, Mayanagaha is telling Arjuna. And it is disclosed now by me to you. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Right? So whatever we do, when we're in full knowledge of Krishna, whatever we do, it's perfect. It's all auspicious. It's sacred. Because that knowledge in itself will purify everything. Krishna purifies everything, makes everything perfect. Right, so that's the end of the 15th chapter. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Aren't they beautiful, our dear Radha Krishna deities? They're made by hand by my father-in-law, Kalapi Jani. Hamare sasur ji ne banaye hain, hamare Radha Krishna ji ko. So thank you for listening, and please do follow the Purushottam Mas Vrata. Please think of something that you can offer to Krishna. In the very minimum we can do is read this chapter every day. How long did this take? Maybe 10-15 minutes at max. The other most important thing is to chant every day, to do some japa meditation, which is described by the Lord Himself. There's 4 different things we can do, and one of them is to chant daily, to utter the holy names of Krishna. And we can recite the Bhagavad Gita, Chap15. You do some dan, you do charity whatever little we can do, and especially in this month, it really gets magnified. So think of a special breath, something that you can offer with love to the Supreme Person, and really strengthen that relationship. Wishing you the most auspicious Purushottam Mass. Please follow us on the Kishori Jani page and like the page. Really appreciate all your support. Hare Krishna!